I shouldn't have taken that.
I have.
I really thought I was dying.
That's a very uplifting.
I thought I should have warned you.
It's like in this in between, I feel like.
And then she would torture them to death. So yeah.
Hello, Metal Pilgrims, and welcome to the new interview episode on the channel. And today I'm more than happy to welcome Laura Guildemond of the band Burning Witches. Laura, thank you so much for finding time and joining me today. How are you?
Yeah, hey, yeah, I'm good.
Good. That's great to see you. Great to see you. Where are you at the moment?
I'm in the Netherlands.
Nice. How is the weather? Do you feel that spring has come already, or is it still not even
Yeah,
close?
it changes from day to day. So some days it's like almost freezing, and then it's the other day I'm sitting in the garden with a jacket on, but I can't sit in the garden. So it's okay.
Laura, so of course the biggest news about Burning Witches is the release of your upcoming studio record, The Dark Tower, which will be out in what, just under a month when we're speaking to you today. First of all, congrats on finishing it up, and working on it. So that's a great achievement by itself already. So can you talk just a little bit about the creative process behind it, and how did it all come into this one piece that we'll be able to hear very, very soon?
Yeah. Well, we started with the ID actually of The Dark Tower, and we kind of stick to that. It's cool to have an ID that you can kind of put everything together with. So the Dark Tower, well, it's actually about the person from who this Dark Tower is, and it is the Blood Countess. Mm-hmm. She is in history the first recorded serial killer, and she basically tortured her girl servants that she had when they did something wrong or whatever, and she did that for fun. So that was her hobby. She was just waiting for people to do stuff wrong, and then she would torture them to death. So yeah.
Wow. That's a very uplifting.
We wanted a bit of a darkness in her life. Her life was not dark enough, I guess. So we wanted to go back a bit to the darker vibes we had in Hexenhammer, for example. So. I think for people that know that song and that album, they know that the Dark Tower kind of reminds of it also, the song itself. And we just decided on this theme, and I just we tried to fit in the music and the lyrics and the artwork. Mm-hmm. And no one's seen it yet, of course, but also what we have on stage later, we want to have it all fit.
That's all. I was actually able to listen to the record already for quite some time now, and I gotta say, I love it. I think everyone on this channel knows, most likely you as well, that I'm a huge fan of this classic heavy metal. So this was like, honey to my ears. But at the same time, I gotta say that in addition to it being, sounding very classic, it is very modern-like, right? I mean, it is definitely a 21st century recorded record, right? I mean, it's not only looking in the past, but rather looking in the future. And we'll talk about this in a moment. But you started speaking about the lyrics, and of course, given the band's name and just by looking at the artwork, which kind of corresponds to what you've been saying. But at the same time, do your fans have to kind of look deeper into the meaning? Were there any lyrical themes which you tried to, include on the record in addition to, tell a story of a serial killer?
Yeah, it's more like, well, it's not like it's not like a story with a storyline from song to song, but it's more like songs that are connected to the story, right? So I think Evil Witch is the one with the witch, right? So
you had to do it. You had to do it.
Yeah, I had to do it. I had to. Yeah.
Obliged.
That's the obvious one, I guess. I try to look again for a witch in this story too, and some people believe that one of the biggest, the helpers in her torture squad, basically, was also a witch. So. She would basically also, try to get some new servants in, and she would say, and this has eventually been the downfall, but she would say maybe it's a good idea to start a school for noble women so they learn how to be, a noble woman for if they grow up have to run a house and stuff like that. So, and then people actually, then it was the end of her, right? Because when she started to torture and kill noble moms and dads, daughters, that was the end. But she was believed to be a witch and to to have blessed this idea. Eventually she was wrong, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what that song about. So other songs are a bit about maybe the fear that people around that castle, that there were rumors, right? So she would always try to cover it up, like, oh, that girl got sick, and then maybe a priest would come and give the last prayers for this girl, but some of them would say, no, this is not right, but then they would get killed, right? So there must have been some rumors, right? So yeah. So yeah, this is all these kind of stories, and also maybe I can imagine the castle to be haunted because of all the deaths, and so there's a song about the lost souls, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, so it's cool. It's a good source for all kind of cool songs around it.
That's awesome. And I think, speaking about individual tracks, in addition, of course, to the two instrumental tracks that you have on the record, which are, but they're not really like full songs, instrumental songs. They're more like bridges between the different parts of the album, I feel like. But there is this one track which kind of stands out from the rest, is the song Tomorrow. What is going on there? How did you come up with this? It's I don't want to call it a ballad 100%, because it's not 100% a ballad. It's like this. Okay. It's like in this in between, I feel like, song, but it's still definitely a much slower pace, much more reflective track. So how did you come up with this one, and what did you want to kind of make your listeners feel when they listen to this one?
Yeah, it's basically what I always wait for Romana to come up with like a musical base. So maybe like a whole song structure, or just a verse and a chorus. And that's when I started writing. So I just listened to what would fit, right? And I felt this was kind of like, yeah, indeed, it's not a typical ballad. It's kind of like a melancholic slow song, right? So
that's a good way to characterize it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not what you would expect from your typical ballad, I guess, indeed. But yeah, so I felt it should be a bit sad, and we always like to do this power ballad in the end, so it should be also a bit, still a bit kick-ass in the end. But so I really tried to look for something that would fit, and yeah, I think like one of the cool things about strange people like Countess Battery is that you could look at it from this perspective of trying to understand this person, and she was probably a bit crazy, right? Or else she wouldn't do it.
A little bit, yeah.
I think so. I mean, it's part. I mean, yeah, it probably a bit of upbringing, a bit of being crazy, and I understood it. Some people argue it could be because there was a lot of incest to keep all the wealth inside the family. And also she grew up into this basically, kind of like more or less a war zone where people would, get severely punished if they would betray their leader, right? So one of the stories, and nothing is really sure around this story because it's, of course, everything is too long ago, and yeah, there are a lot of rumors or stories instead of facts. But I like to believe this one is true, is that when she was little, she saw someone being sewn into a horse as punishment. And this is pretty crazy, but these were the times that people lived in, right? Yeah. So, I mean, for me, it sounds like it could be true. Yeah. So pretty crazy stuff. So I was thinking, so if you basically environment and how you feel, if you feel at home in it or not, kind of makes you in the end, right? So I think Tomorrow and Unleash the Beast, both of those songs are kind of reflecting on that, because Unleash the Beast is, I made the connection is, maybe people working from 9 to 5 is what the lyrics start about, and it's about maybe not feeling, it doesn't feel very natural maybe, so you have to unleash the beast, right? And it's not like I want to make it a good thing, of course, that she was crazy in the head and killed everyone, but it's just a thought process indeed. And the other song is indeed Tomorrow, which is kind of about the same thing but different. It's actually a true story. So I don't know if you would have expected that. I'm kind of curious what you think it means before I answer.
It's hard. I feel like it is about being trapped within yourself, and kind of trying to, to live through the hardest times of your life. That's what I felt. And looking into tomorrow, that tomorrow will come and that there will be another day, no matter what you're going through, even if you're locked,
Yeah,
not even within a physical cell, but maybe within your
yeah,
own boundaries of yourself. I mean, this is my interpretation, but
yeah.
I'm sure
It
yours
is.
will be a better one.
Well, yeah, you're really. I think you did a great job. Yeah, it's true. I think it's true, and I think it's yeah, and it's a crazy thought, but maybe this counts as battery's way to stay sane was actually torturing other people. I'm not saying it's correct to do it, of course, but yeah, in another way. But this is actually based on a true story because yeah, just someone I knew since childhood. So I think I knew this guy since I was. I'm trying to remember the age, but probably 8 or 10 years old or something. Basically, we knew each other from like early, and his story just really grabs me, right? Because he never fitted in. He grew up in a super religious environment. He turned out to be gay, and he turned out to have other problems, and everything was horribly difficult for him. And eventually, yeah, he just decided it's probably better for him to live on the streets because he's literally he likes to live in a tent now to make himself to stay sane, basically, to keep himself distracted. For him, it works better if he lives inside, because the wall of the four, living inside four walls, basically, that I'm also singing about a bit. It's actually literally and figuratively. It's actually both. Because he feels indeed a bit trapped sometimes in this whole situation, but also literally in the home. So he actually lives on the street. So it's both. It's both. Wow. In this particular case. And for him, it's also a way of finding himself indeed. And for him, it's a very spiritual path also. If I want to know anything about witches, I also ask him, by the way. He's basically a male witch, yeah. And it's just his struggle indeed to get to terms with himself, and he literally woke up one morning and someone hit him so hard he actually had the experience that the devil that he had an actual fight with the devil, and he showed me pictures. It was horrible. I was very afraid for him. To be honest, sometimes I'm still a bit afraid for him because he still lives on the street. It's a bit scary. It's a scary situation. So it's actually a heartfelt song also, yeah.
Well, this is I feel like this problem overall, because this is a problem. The whole fact that people who are feeling trapped, within themselves, within their households, within, whatever the society we're living in, and especially metalheads, because let's be honest here, the metalheads are sometimes different from many other, classes of society, and this is okay. We grew up like this, right? But I feel like just by looking at the amount of suicides we have, in the society and actually in the industry as well, from people who have the wealth, who have the money, who most likely are able to get whatever they want, in terms of the material world, but still are not satisfied, just raises the question for me personally to shout out loud to everyone who's struggling that, hey guys, get help. Even there's nothing bad in it, talk to a friend, to a psychologist, to a psychiatrist if you need to, if even if you feel like it will not work for you, why not try? All right, but let's go back to the record. Laura, this is the first studio album which you've released on the new label, after you switched to Napalm Records. So how was it? Did it in any way interfere with the established process that you've already had? Because you did release, 3 records before that.
Yes, yeah, I mean, I didn't notice. Let's just say I didn't notice any difference, except it was funny. At some point, they said, oh, the label guy wants angrier pictures. I was like, okay.
Did you give him?
Yeah, so
Now,
there was a bit more of
now I want to see the original pictures.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's always, I mean, it's to be as a girl, it's a bit of a struggle sometimes because I want to look nice, but you also want to look a bit badass. And if I do, it's just difficult to nail it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah.
It's this fine line between being sexy and scary, and you don't want to.
Yeah, and complete insanity. So yes. Yeah.
And in terms of this creative process, so how does it work? Do you guys, who lays the foundation? Do you guys bounce ideas off each other, or is it just like an imperative decision made by one or two band members and that's it?
Well, everyone has room to do their own thing a bit, of course, but Romana usually really lays down the bass with the song and maybe already a guitar melody. And basically, when she sends something, you will get the vibe of the song, right? So I know what lyric would fit. And the other band members, I'm the only one that doesn't live close, right? So everyone lives in the same town in Switzerland. So, except me. So, but they go into the rehearsal room and then they also try to fill in the song a bit already. So the right vibe is there with the drums and the bass and the guitars, both of them, of course. So, so in the meantime, I'm writing back and forth, mostly with Romana, with, hey, maybe this vocal line and this lyrics. And when we both think it's cool, then I will just work on it to finish it. And then we work a bit on the details more. So that kind of happens simultaneously. So in the beginning, sometimes I will get maybe acoustic guitar, and then later I will get the band recording from the rehearsal room. So that's how we do it. And sometimes it's just WhatsApp voice messages with IDs and for lyrics, but we already had the team up front, right? So we do talk about it a bit. Usually no one else get involved, but once in a while I get a message from Lala. Hey Laura, you can't do this. It's not metal enough, it's too cute. There's something stupid. Yeah. And she is the most extreme metal lover in the group. So if it was up to her, everything would be more extreme, I guess. Also lyrics, but sometimes this happens, and I try to think of everything. Of course, it's okay, and I think it can be really helpful in some songs. If I get stuck, I really start asking people, hey, maybe what should I do here? Should I do there? But it's just going back and forth with everyone a bit. Yeah.
And talking about this sound of yours, which I understand, comes from Romana mostly. As I already said, it is very reminiscent of this classic heavy metal sound, which I am a huge fan of. And I'm very thankful for Burning Wishes for, keeping the heavy metal fire burning and giving us, new bands to listen to. But going back to the roots and going back to your major influences, so talking about those bands which you listened to and growing up, why did they make you jump on a bandwagon of heavy metal? And what do they mean for you today in 2023 when you are already an established musician, yourself? Or maybe they're not as important for you anymore?
Yeah, they still are. Actually, it's funny because I'm mostly now, I'm a bit lazy with putting up my own music. So mostly I actually listen to just playlists and stuff like that. But it's funny because now all the interviews started. I actually, I get this question, of course, more often, or something that is almost this question. And because of that, I actually started to look up a bit more of this songs that I, used to listen to a lot when I started listening to metal. Yeah, and of course it's a bit, it's kind of nostalgia, and it's really, it's cool. It's of course it still means a lot. And one of these bands is WASP that I started to listen to. I think it was the first old school metal band I listened to. That's what I remember anyway. It was the first old school band I listened to, and I just love to to look it back up, because it doesn't always appear in my random playlist actually. So I was like, shit, why not actually? But I need to make that happen. I need to change that algorithm again. But so we also have a bonus song, and it's I Want to Be Somebody from WASP.
Oh, nice. It's a great track. And I think Blackie is, someone once said, "What if a chainsaw could sing?" Blackie would have been that. And I think this is the best way to define his voice, and which is amazing. Which brings us to the next question: who would be your ideal person to collaborate with in terms of your vocal idols? Whom would you die to sing with on stage?
Well, I mean, I'm just also thinking of something I just already want to do for a long time, to be honest. And it's just a cool ballad, or not a ballad. Well, we were talking about that ballad so long. I'm now saying ballad. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant to say duet. I just want to sing a cool duet with a cool singer, and yeah, I was thinking of a cool melodic singer, maybe someone that like Mirod, like Zara Sorgati from Mirod, for example, or maybe Tommy from Camelot, or Janis from Beast in Black. What more do we have? I mean, there are a lot of cool singers out there, but I was thinking of, and I mean, I don't dare to say it, of course, but I don't know, maybe Bruce or Rob Halford, I don't know. But anyway, it would be cool, right? So something like that. I just want to do a cool duet. I had it on my to-do list for a long time, so I don't know. Let's make it happen soon.
That's
if
awesome.
Anyone hears
you guys, speaking about Rob, you guys did do a cover on Judas Priest's Jawbreaker, as far as I remember, right? Yeah. That would be cool if on one of your future concerts, Rob would walk up on stage and sing with you.
Yeah, wow, that would be cool. Yeah.
Absolutely. Laura, in order to close this episode, can you share with us just one craziest story which happened to you on the road together with Burden Witches, or maybe one of the one of those tour stories which you cherish the most?
Oh, that I cherish.
Oh, okay. You may not cherish, you may hate it, and I'd love it even more.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking about this one first. One day I was like, walking. You have these big supermarkets in America. When we were there first time last year, and I was just looking for some easy food to warm up in the hotel in the microwave, because usually I don't think it's always like this in Europe, but almost all the hotels in America, they have your own microwave in the hotel room. So I was like, you know what, I'll just take some food I can warm up in the microwave, it will be easy. And I saw, it's just I don't know how much it was, 1 or 2 euros. It was like nothing, and it was a wrap with beans, and I don't know. I thought it would be good, but no, I shouldn't have taken that, because it was the cheapest one that you could get, basically with just bean paste, and I had no idea. But after I ate it, I the next day we had to travel, and I had to go to the toilet too much, and we were not able to travel, and I had to. We had to go and wait at a McDonald's at some point. Eventually we made it on time, but I really thought I was dying. It was not nice. I was really sick because of it, but it was luckily, because it was not a virus or something, it was over after it got out, right? So, but that was, I don't recommend those. Never try those. And the stupid thing is, we had some crew with us, and there was someone that would drive and do the merch, and she told me afterwards, I thought I should have warned you about those, but I thought you knew, and I didn't want to bother you while eating them. Yeah, so.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well,
she should have thought.
That's fun. Well, hopefully you guys will be able to make it to the US very, very soon again, and hopefully you guys will make it to Ukraine, because I'm from Ukraine, and I'd love to. We'd love to welcome you here after our victory, and show you a very, very warm welcome. Laura, thank you so much for joining me today. Any last message for the fans? Anything you want to share with them, both old and new?
Oh, any last message? Yeah. You just mentioned Ukraine, and I'm like, fuck, what a mess. But yeah, I would say take a break from that mess. Just come to a cool festival this summer and visit us there. I guess. I mean, I would want to say we come over, but I guess indeed it's unrealistic to say as long as there's stuff happening, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately we cannot leave as well.
Oh, you can't leave? I didn't know that.
No,
Oh, fuck.
we cannot leave.
Oh shit! No, I wish you the best of luck. Yes, I'm a bit. To be honest, when it just started out, I was really kind of surprised that it happened, and then I thought, this should be over soon because they're just going to put a bullet in the guy's head and then it's over, and it's still going on. I'm so confused about that. But yeah, that's apparently how how it goes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you.
All my best luck for you. Yeah.
Thank you so much on behalf of all Ukrainian metalheads. Just come to Kyiv and we'll show you a very, very warm welcome. And on behalf of all the Metal Pilgrims, thank you so much for joining us today. This was Laura Guildemond, ladies and gentlemen. Laura, thank you so much. Keep rocking.